Are you serious? Are you serious? You know, sometimes I'm just totally stunned. What? By the left-wing liberal leaning backwards, leaning forward, I guess, media that hates freedom. They hate freedom. They hate Christianity. They hate freedom. It's communism. They are pro-communist, pro-socialist, pro-Marxist, pro-totalitarian. They are for tyranny instead of freedom. It's amazing to me. Well, I guess and this is what's so great about this country, because as long as we got freedom, guys like Mike Malloy can say the things he says, and he's allowed to say it. If we ever get to a time that he's not allowed to say these crazy, ridiculous, demonic things that he says, then I guess our nation's in trouble. Get a cup of coffee. Are you serious? We need Jesus. We need Jesus in America. That's what we really need. All right, here we go. Talk show host Mike Malloy calls for all birther people to be killed. What is he? He said this on the air. Is he for gun violence or against it? Get this. And he hates. I'm going to try to read it. Here we go. A left-wing radio host declared on the air this past week that birthers, that's people who question President Barack Obama's birth certificates, people like Donald Trump, anybody, millions of people who've been questioning the documentation on whether or not President Barack Obama was truly born in America or was he born in Kenya. There's a lot of conflicting documentation, like he registered as a foreign exchange student when he went to Harvard, and he claimed that his origin of birth was Kenya. There's a bunch of documents that make you have to scratch your head. Well, get this. This left-wing radio host declared on the air this past week that all birthers, those who question Barack Obama's eligibility to be president, should stand in a circle with a semi-automatic rifle pointed at one another, and on his command, open fire and shoot each other. Now, he made this statement on his January 9th broadcast. According to Mike Malloy, he scoffs while quoting WorldNet Daily column for commentators Craig McMillan, in which McMillan claimed that Chief Justice John Roberts is in a very terrible position of being asked to swear in the president who isn't eligible for the job because of his dual citizenship at birth. And so Malloy goes on using swear words toward these God-blanking birthers. He says, will you people please, please, please get together with your AR-15s in a big circle, pointing inward, and on my count, open fire. The AR-15 is a semi-automatic rifle that has been referenced frequently in the news, in accounts and commentaries since the mass murder at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. All right, well, here's the thing about it. Mike Malloy doesn't speak for the American people. He speaks for the left-leaning liberal crowd that obviously has no idea what they're talking about when it relates to our Constitution. This is an anti-American. Mike Malloy is an anti-American. When I say that, for a man to say he hates the fact that the millions, and I mean millions, 65% of all Americans believe we should continue to protect the Second Amendment right to bear arms, and the first, and of course all of our rights, to right to free speech. He has a right to say what he said. I'm not debating. I'm not saying he shouldn't say it. I'm saying he should say it all he wants. He shows his lack of understanding of, and he shows his lack of moral character. He shows his incompetency to understand what a true democracy is really all about. He actually shows that with his mentality, he should go live somewhere else where he chooses, to where he doesn't have those rights to even speak like that. So in America, you have a right to you have free speech, you have a right to freedom of worship, you have a right, freedom to assemble, you have a right, freedom of expression, you have the right, freedom to bear arms, and it goes on and on. Everything about our Constitution is about freedom, freedom, freedom. Now, matter of fact, Jesus Christ said everything about salvation is about freedom, freedom, freedom. You're set free from sin. You're delivered from all oppressive spirits. You are set free from spiritual iniquity and from spiritual bondage. And the chains of sin and darkness and the spirit of darkness are broken. And by the anointing, you have been, the anointing breaks the yoke. Everything about Jesus said he come to heal the brokenhearted, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to set the captives free, to give sight to the blind. Everything that Christ did came to give liberty and freedom and justice for all, mercy included, and total liberation of the human spirit from the spirit of the oppressive darkness, the controlling spirit. This is why you totally know communism is a direct violation of the Bible. For it's a select few who want to rule the many and take away their rights to speak, take away their rights to bear arms, take away their rights, which means to protect themselves, take away their rights to worship, take away their rights to speak freely. Communism, social Marxism, these fascism, all of these different oppressive tyranny. And so what Mike Malloy doesn't understand, when he hates, he's filled with hate. He is so mad that people would question whether or not President Barack Obama truly was born in America. It's a legitimate question. Look, Barack Obama has 5 grandmothers on his daddy's side because his daddy had 4 or 5 wives. It's a legitimate question. Was he born in Kenya? Was he born in Hawaii? Do we know he lived in Indonesia for a while? Is he a citizen of Indonesia also? Maybe he's a citizen of Kenya, Indonesia, America. It's a legitimate question. It's not an attack. It's just a question. But Mike Malloy can't handle even people having the right to question. Mike, please, if you're going to be a journalist, seriously, figure out what it means to be to understand how to look at both sides of the situation and report the facts truthfully. Okay? And don't attack. And then if you're so mad about people having a right to bear arms, then why would you call for the people to all shoot each other? I mean, how counterproductive. How, where's your mind at? So, folks, this is what we do, is you pray for people like Mike Malloy. They are so distorted. They're blind. Their political position has enraged them so much they've become politically blind and filled with hate, even a murderous hate, that they would say such a thing on the air. But don't be surprised, because in the last days they're going to call evil good and good evil. That's America. Here's Iran. There's an American pastor, and I want to thank Penny for getting me this, and Penny also got me this article. There's an American pastor right now in Iran who was arrested for trying just to help orphans. And he is being beaten. He is being beaten and beaten and beaten as the Revolutionary Guard has him in a prison in Iran. He was arrested just shortly after he arrived there in September. He is going under, his name is Saeed Abinelli, and that's spelled A-B, I'll put it in the link, A-B-E-D-I-N-I. Saeed Abinelli, a Christian pastor who's sitting right now in the Even prison, being beaten to death, brutally being mistreated, and all because he's a Christian pastor from America who come to help the orphan children in Iran. They are calling evil good and good evil. And it's not just in Iran. It's not just in Uganda, Rwanda.